Hello and welcome to our Builder of Choice Insights podcast. We are so excited to have our guest here today. We talk about things that inspire builders across America to be the builder of choice in their market. And today we're going to be talking to Kelly Zitlow and Lisa Cortez about women building America. This is such an important concept, and I'm so excited to have them here with us. I actually spent last week in a superintendent class, and we had one woman in the class, and she's a little bit more mature than the rest of the group was. And when she was coming up through the industry, her dad told her that she belonged in the office. And so she spent her time doing accounting. And her brother recently took over the company and said, you know what? You belong in the field as our superintendent. I feel like you're super organized and you can get this thing rolling. And she's been in the field and absolutely loves every single minute of it. And so it's wonderful to see how women are taking the bull by the horns and trying out all the different aspects of home building and breaking the mold of women in the office and really getting out there in all the different positions that are available for women in home building. And I've got two women who have been inspired to start working from the early stages. So I'm going to introduce to you Kelly and Lisa. You two are very dynamic women and a huge passion for making a difference in all that you do. Can you please share your story and how you came to be part of the industry and why you're so passionate about helping young women?
Absolutely. First, Emma Jane, thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here. And my background is in teaching. I graduated with a degree in education, and I used to teach second grade. And then after being in that career for a while, I went back to school and became a registered nurse. And then I became a stay-at-home mom for a while. And so when I got in this industry, I had that background in two careers that were heavily dominated by women. And so it seemed really odd to me when I started working with our builder partners that at a lot of the meetings, I was the only woman in the room. Mm-hmm. And so I was so confused. I said, where are all the ladies? Because if I can do this job, surely many other women can as well. And with the other women that we found, we found each other, right? There was a small group with us. And over the years, what I found is that group is actually growing. So there are women in this industry. I think more and more word is getting out that these are fabulous careers. I think it's a lack of awareness and education because these are great opportunities for women. And so that's really what sparked Women Building America, was just that desire to get the word out with what we feel is the best kept secret.
Well, thanks so much for having us, Emma. And my story is a little bit different. I fell into the mortgage lending component of the home buying industry almost 30 years ago. I was on my way to law school, made a detour, and it just stuck. I never went to law school. So this has been my journey on the mortgage origination side. And I think that one of the things that I love and have loved most about working with people and helping them buy that home, whether it's a first-time home or a dream home, is there are so many barriers. Some of them are mental, some of them are just lack of knowledge. And to be able to help navigate the dream of home ownership, it does not get old. And so to be able to, work with our home building partners or, whether it's the resale market, whatever that is, it's just to break down barriers. So when I took on my current role at Cornerstone, which is I help to lead the sales and marketing team for Cornerstone Capital Bank, I met Lisa, and when you meet Lisa, you're just like totally inspired to go out and do big things. And so she shared with me her story And she had just started this little kind of grassroots thing in Charlotte about bringing girls together, young girls, kind of teenage girls, 8th grade, that kind of range. And she was hosting these girls camps. And she's like, just come out and see it. And so that was it. I went. Yes, it was summer in Charlotte. Don't know if you've ever been there. We're out in the warehouse, no AC. It was an experience, but it was so amazing. And I think that the key here is, much like my earlier career, breaking down barriers. That's what inspires me. And I think that's what moves the needle with regard to this journey. And so I'm very excited that Lisa and I were able to join forces and create Women Building America, and really just take that grassroots idea that she had and execute it in her market, and really make it a nonprofit and a Cornerstone initiative with the backers of Cornerstone is the national sponsor, and it really is an integral part of helping us launch this across the country.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Women in Building is definitely a special organization, and it's very different than most organizations focused on women in home building. So can you help share a little bit about what separates this organization from others? Because I know there's so many different ones and they all serve a specific purpose. But Women Building America serves a very, very special purpose. And so can you share what is the one differentiator between that and everybody else?
For sure. One thing that I would say, and I do always hear folks saying, there are so many different organizations, like you said, that focus on different things. I think because women are a minority in our industry, it's still not enough, right? We still need more and more organizations to help support women in our industry. But what makes Women Building America so different is that we're focused on the younger population, girls, when they're at a crossroads in their lives and they're getting ready to take that step to make a decision about where their life is going to take them. And so we're catching them at a really important stage in life. And through our construction camps over the summer, we are able to host these girls, and we inspire them through putting as many different women as we possibly can who are in our industry doing all of these fabulous jobs. And the women share with the girls how they got in the industry, what they love about their job, and what's the day in the life look like, and what the earning potential is. I mean, that is a big part of this, because I don't think that our young folks are really aware of how much money you can make in some of these jobs. And like I said, these are really great career paths. So to get the chance to touch lives at this important stage is very, very special. And I will tell you, their minds are blown at camp. Like, these girls have no idea that these jobs exist. They do not know that this is a space for girls. And they don't really understand, I think, their own capabilities. A part of the camps, we work with power tools. We are building, we actually are doing real construction. We build things. And a lot of the girls are surprised at what they're capable of. And they all come out of camp with this new sense of confidence in what they actually could accomplish, but also a brand new insight to a career path that maybe they knew a little bit about, or they had some preconceived notions about. And now they really know, okay, these are jobs that, I might actually be interested in. We have a ton of follow-up at camp. It's really fun to see girls asking our speakers for like their business card or their email address. So there's a ton of interest, and there's a ton of need for this as well. Most of our camps go on a wait list. Because we can only accommodate the number of campers that any workshop or venue will hold. So we typically max out, and then we go to a wait list. So there's a huge need for this type of education and awareness. And like I said, the campers come out asking when the next camp is. Do you have another camp this summer that we could sign up for? And our repeat attendee rate is very high.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love hearing that. It's so cool to see young people, and young women in particular, get inspired and excited about something. And I think that so many times we just dismiss our youth and don't really think about their potential. We just kind of watch everybody go through the cycle of this is just how things are so supposed to be. And it's really great that you kind of put a spoke in the wheel and said, hey, stop here. Let's really think about what other opportunities you have instead of just going on the hamster wheel that we have created and the path that everybody thinks you should take, and really having people critically think about, what does my future look like? What are the things that I enjoy doing? And how can I make a career out of that? So I think that's amazing what you guys have done for these young girls.
I'd also add to that bringing young girls that are adolescents together, many times their moms are making them come. So they're not necessarily like all like, yay, the transformation that takes place in a day and a half to 2 days, depending on the camp and the facility and all of that, it's astounding. And I think what inspires Lisa and me is to sit there and think, gosh, if we can help 12 or 15 or 20 girls and they come through this where they're shy and they're intimidated and they don't know their voice, they don't have a voice necessarily. And if they do, they're being quiet and they're withholding and kind of refraining. And then to see their friendships and see them come out of their shells and see that empowerment in such a short period of time, it's like, gosh, this is amazing. I mean, this is supposed to happen. And we need people that have that same vision and that same passion to help us either with Women Building America or help in some way with all adolescents. Because I think today, if you're not on the college path, what path are you on? And there's such a huge need in home building in particular, especially the skilled trades, that we've got to get out there and we just have to make it known and start younger. I think that's the key. And that's really where Women Building America is a little bit different.
Yep. And you hit a good point. And I'd like for you guys to talk a little bit about what was that one inspirational moment, because creating an organization is always there's so many people who come up with these great ideas. But taking it to that next level, it takes a little bit more than just the idea. Like you have to be completely inspired and have a drive to make it happen. So what would you say? You mentioned, young women and getting their voice. You mentioned the industry and the lack of trades and the lack of labor that's coming through the pipeline. So what would you say would be the one thing that inspired the two of you to really take this and run with it and make it happen?
Well, I'll start, and then Lisa. For me, obviously going to the camp in Charlotte, getting to know Lisa, better understanding and seeing firsthand, it's indelible in my soul. And there was I could not do something. So, but Lisa and I met with Mark Laird, who is the visionary and the founder of Cornerstone Home Lending and now Cornerstone Capital Bank. He's the chairman of the board now for the bank. And he's had a long journey in the home lending space, but many, many, many partnerships with home builders across the country for years. And we sat down, and it was really seeing Mark's vision as well just come to life as Lisa and I were talking about it. And his contribution to that was really important for Lisa and I to see we can do this. And so I think, if anything, the empowerment for the vision really came from Mark. And he was like, all right, let's go do this. Let's go help our builder partners, because we know this is going to impact the industry and we want to be a partner to our partners. And we were like, okay, let's go. And that was it. We just didn't turn back. Now, it's not been a straight shot. It's a lot of obstacles. We're learning every day. But I think that for me, at least, that was really just the go time. Lisa, what about you?
Yeah, mine is twofold. So taking you all back to when we started the camp here in Charlotte, I was serving as the community outreach chair for our local PWB. And like I said, I felt like there was a huge disconnect in bringing women into our industry. And with my background in education, I thought, gosh, what can I do? What can I create and roll out? And so I went to Andy Dirkschneider, who's the president of Brookline Homes, who was serving as our PWB chair at the time. And I asked her, what do you think about doing this construction camp? And without hesitation or any pushback, 100% she was in. I'm not a builder, right? But I am a planner, and I can organize and market and do all of those things. And so between really the two of us, I mean, she helped with all of the building. We rolled out our first camp on a wing and a prayer. And that's the truth. We didn't know. We got a lot of pushback. No one wanted to do it, the liability and all the things. And she and I really just pushed forward and did it. Mm-hmm. And, kind of with one eye closed, because we were like, this is going to be a terrible failure, or maybe it could work, and maybe we could help some girls and make a difference. And we nailed it. We saw, like Kelly had mentioned, that transformation in mindset, the empowerment the girls experience, the excitement, and it is contagious. So anyone who has come to any of our camps and volunteered, we've had some volunteers leave in tears, because it is such an emotional, fulfilling, rewarding time. It almost changes your outlook on the next generation. Mm-hmm. Because you feel so connected. And so for me, that's when I knew that we were onto something here. And then the second point, the second inspirational place for me was meeting with Mark, just like Kelly had mentioned, because, Mark is such a big thinker, and he is a visionary, and he is, I think, always been ahead of his time. And so he really, my focus was doing something, and his was on such a big level. He really inspired us to think of this in a bigger way. He's so supportive of women in our industry, and always has been. So to see his vision of how far we could take this really blew my mind away. And I'm like, oh, wow, I had never thought about it like that. And so, that one meeting where we put our heads together and we were like, wow, we could really do this. And imagine, Mark is all about changing lives. And so his vision in that meeting was, think of the lives we can change. Think of, some of these young girls whose future maybe doesn't look so bright. Maybe they're not on the college path. Think about how over time we're going to change the lives of all of these people, and the impact it will have not only on our industry, right? And residential home building is facing those critical labor shortages. So that impact is of course amazing, but to actually impact the lives and the families and providing now income and a career path that they had never considered, right. Really was, it was a very touching moment for me to realize that.
Oh, that's amazing. And you had a great woman to help you get it started in Charlotte with Andy Dirkschneider. She's amazing. And she's a go-getter. And I think she, like you said, one eye closed, she's like, we'll just figure this out.
It's so true.
It's so going to happen.
And Kelly too. I mean, she's a visionary. Her experience, I've only been in the industry for a very short time, just about 6 years. So her experience, especially with marketing and planning and details, I could never have put this together without her. So it really was just such a great partnership. And I'm so proud of the work we've done so far. I really, truly am.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, and you started with just the one in Charlotte. How many times were you doing camps in Charlotte before you expanded?
This past summer would have been our fourth year of hosting camps here. And then as under the Women Building America, we've hosted a camp in Denver. and one in Dallas, and both were great successes. Next year, we're really excited to continue hosting in Dallas and Denver, and then we're rolling out camps in Houston, Texas, Austin, San Antonio, and Orlando. So next summer is going to be a big, big summer for us.
Oh my gosh. Now, tell me about how those events get going. Like, how do you make an event happen? It seems you're in Charlotte, it's the two of you. So how do you make an event? And you both have full-time jobs. So this is this is volunteer.
Right.
I've been the ultimate volunteer at just at our middle school and our high school. And that's very time consuming. And I didn't have to go anywhere further than 15 minutes from my house. So tell me, how do you make these things happen across the country when you're volunteering your time for these things?
Kelly, do you want to take that one?
It takes people, and forging relationships and finding those people in the markets that we're hosting the camps that really see and want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so for the camp, as Lisa mentioned, we actually build something. We're in a workshop. We need skilled workers. So our builder business partners have just showed up in spades to help us. So they donate their teams, superintendents, people that understand how to use the tools. And depending on how many girls we have, will kind of dictate how many skilled workers we need to run the saws and do with the education and make sure that everybody's safe. And so I think our builder partners have been just phenomenal and have just come out in spades and saying, hey, yes, we want to participate. And it's not just the skilled trade part. That's a big part of the camp, because we want the girls to feel what it feels like to actually build something with your hands. I think that is just something that we don't see a lot in our country today. And so that's a piece of it. But we have a lot of our builder partners. It could be a purchasing manager at one of our home builders. It could be, a regional president for one of the home builders. And to put these ladies who come in and speak in the classroom portion in front of these young gals, and you never know what's going to inspire them. We had a landscape architect come in our Dallas camp this year, and she wasn't that old either. So I think it was very relatable, and she'd gone to college, and she was just able to talk in a way, and they were just, you could just see them light up like, oh, maybe this is something, and I think that partnership with the local community is so important. We cannot do this without people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you want to add anything, Lisa?
That's perfect. No, she's right. It takes a village to host the camps, and we do really pull in the entire community. There's a lot that we need. We need materials, we need wood, we need plants, we need soil, and we need volunteers, which we're so blessed. We've never had a shortage of volunteers. Our builder partners have always supported us. Kelly and I are not builders, but we've learned a lot. Kelly and I have learned a lot about construction and building, and I can do quite a few things now that 5 years I couldn't do. So I can operate a miter saw. I know how to swing a hammer and all of those things. So I've learned a lot. And along those lines, a lot of our volunteers who maybe aren't skilled builders, they learn a lot too. Mm-hmm. And we've actually had requests to do a camp for adults. A lot of people who really want to learn how to build just as a hobby have asked us to host camps for adults. So that's something maybe we need to think of for the future, but it does take a village, and we do need a lot of support.
Yeah, that's great. Well, now you can have the moms camp. Like,
no, doesn't that sound fun?
I mean, I think it would be phenomenal. I know we did an event here locally in Denver at the same place you guys did your event. We had the professional women in building did the same type of thing, and we had so much fun building a planter. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever, because it's not like you can go and you just go do it, and nobody actually spends the time to teach most girls or women how to use those tools. Right. So you always are very intimidated with that. So it's a phenomenal feeling to be able to be like, oh yeah, I totally was able to do that. And you build it and you did all the pieces. Nobody had to cut anything up for you. You did all the cutting, you did all the You did all the power tools. I thought for me, when I did it at 50, I was like, woohoo! So I can't even imagine what it feels like when you're in your teenage years. So I think that's fantastic. So tell me, you guys have talked a little bit about the women who have attended. Is there anybody, like even a special moment or special moments that stand out to you that you're like, this is why we do this every day? An interaction with a young woman, or even just a mom, maybe even a mom and her daughter, and the feedback that you got from it. But can you share a little bit about what that feels like?
I'll share my experience from our Dallas camp. So this was our first camp for Women Building America. So much effort went into it, and it's summer in Dallas, and 84 Lumber was just fantastic. But even with how fantastic they are in their warehouse, it's still hot out there, so we prep the girls. We have a lot of fluids and all the things. We exited the classroom, we go into the workshop, and it wasn't even 10 minutes. And Abigail went down. She passed out because of the heat. And so, here it's go time. I mean, you have a minor, we're calling the paramedics. We're making sure she's okay. We got her back into the AC. She was fine. She was just dehydrated, and gave her some oranges and all the things. But the thing that was inspiring the most was she did not give up. She could have gone home. She called her mom. Mom's like, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm okay. I just, didn't eat that morning or something like that. So she hung in there. And this was like day one, early first hour, day one. And she went through the entire camp. And I will tell you, out of all of the campers in that camp alone, Abigail has followed up with the instructors. She's on a path. She's so excited. And I think perseverance is something that is such a important quality to have. And I was just so inspired by Abigail because she just pushed through, and it was amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, Lisa?
We had a really special camper who came from a single mother family, and in her spare time, she had a candy cart, she called it, and she would take it around the neighborhood and sell candy to make extra money. One of our speakers was purchasing manager for Brightland Homes, Wendy Sampson, and she shared, all about purchasing. And this young camper, really wanted to learn more about what Wendy did, and wanted to know if she could help her, figure out how to get her candy sales up, how to drive her costs down, all of those things. And Wendy was so moved by this because she said she hadn't really seen an interest in young people. And she said, I honestly was really worried about the next generation. She said, because they seem disinterested in I guess at least what she does. And so, they shared emails, they shared phone numbers. And I know Wendy's been keeping in touch with her and mentoring her and encouraging her. And so it's relationships like that are built at camp that create these, like a lifelong change in the trajectory. And so now this camper didn't know that purchasing was even a job. She clearly has a great interest for it. And thanks to our partners like Wendy, we can continue pouring into her and mentoring her and helping her actually join our industry. But what was so moving to me is how touched Wendy was by the experience, and she couldn't stop talking about what camp had done for her life. She said, because of this experience, I'm a different person when I go to work tomorrow. She said, I feel different. I'm inspired. I have a different outlook on the next generation. And she said that the camp experience for her did more than any other life experience she had had in a really long time. And to me, it just really moved me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
And you think about Because sometimes I think people get so wrapped up in their day-to-day that they forget about mentorship and provide. And I think sometimes girls are afraid to ask, and young people are afraid to ask. In general, I think they're afraid to ask for mentorship. And what a great opportunity for this young girl to be in this environment where it's safe to ask for help and then continue the relationship beyond that and continue to get mentorship at such a young age and understand the importance of that. So I think that, and wow. And then for Wendy to feel what she feels, and how inspirational is that too? Because you only hear the terrible things about the generation coming behind us. The generation coming behind us is lazy. I'm like, well, I think we all were lazy when we were teenagers. That's okay. I mean, it's not necessarily generational. It might just be life stage, but what do I know?
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful thing to see that. Just the two generations coming together and inspiring each other and making a difference in each other's lives. That's beautiful. Well, that kind of covered what changes do you see in the volunteers that work with these young women? And you basically answered that question. I think it's amazing. So tell me real quickly, well, actually not quickly, it doesn't have to be super quick, but let's say somebody's sitting here watching us have this discussion and they're like, oh, that sounds amazing. I want to be a part of something like that. I want to make a difference in these young women's lives. How can I become a part of that? How can I help?
That's the nice thing about this initiative, Emma Jane, is we have so many ways to plug in and help. Like I said, it takes a village. So we have a lot of needs and a lot of asks. So for anyone who really wants to get involved, volunteering, we need volunteers to help power the camps. We need skilled tradespeople who know how to use power tools, who have the desire to share that knowledge with these young high school girls who are so eager to learn. We also need materials. So any donations for building materials specifically would be really helpful. And sponsorships. We have a great need for sponsorships. We are a nonprofit organization, and so we rely really heavily on our sponsorships. It's really important to us to keep the camps free for campers. That is really, really important, especially since, some of our demographics in our markets target those low-income families who really need this, and they can't afford to pay for camp. And so through our sponsorships so far, we've been able to keep camp free for all of our campers, which is wonderful. And then also, if you can spread the word about the initiative, that's really important as well, because we want to get the word out so that, first of all, as many girls who want to attend have the opportunity, they know about it, and they have the information to sign up and register for one of our camps. And then just sharing with those skilled tradespeople and builders who might want to help make a difference and really plug into this initiative.
That's awesome. What are some different organizations that when you're going to a particular environment, a new city, what are some groups that you reach out to number one, find campers? So who's the best groups to reach out to help find campers that would be interested in the camps?
When we go into a new market, we do a ton of outreach to get the word out. And so we reach out to all of the community organizations such as Big Brother, Big Sister, Girl Scouts, the Boys and Girls Clubs, the YMCAs, every school district in the area. And so we roll out the initiative in the program. We make sure everyone has the registration links. And then we've also partnered with some other nonprofits that have been incredibly supportive for us. Building Talent Foundation is a really strong partner of ours, and also Habitat for Humanity. I'm really excited to share that we're rolling out a Women Building America internship program this fall. We are launching it in Denver, Emma Jane.
Oh, so awesome.
It's so exciting. It gives our builder partners an opportunity to pair up with one of our campers who have already attended this past summer's camp. They'll pair up with one of our building partners to attend Habitat for Humanity's Saturday program called Women Build. And it's really exciting. And not only does it provide an enrichment activity after participating in camp, but this is really a great opportunity now for these young girls to put an internship with Women Building America on their resume. If they're looking to start a job right out of high school or an apprenticeship program, or even if they're going to college, they can put it on their college resume as well.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Exciting.
Wonderful. I can't wait to hear the results of that program.
I can't wait to share it with you.
Oh, are some girls already assigned to an internship, or is it just when does it start?
We're just rolling it out now. And so we'll be making those assignments probably within the next couple of weeks. So we're still pulling in volunteers. So if you know anyone who would be interested in mentoring one of our campers on a Saturday, it is from 9 to 4. It would be a minimum of 2 Saturdays, but we're asking for 3. And so, and those Saturdays
can be 2, but really out. Just 3.
We're at 2 minimally, but 3 would be better. And they don't have to be consecutive. So you can spread it out between now and next summer to get those 3 experiences in. But it's going to be a really fabulous way for girls to be on a real job site and really learn what goes into building a home.
Yeah. And really understand the dynamics of being and working in that environment with all those different people and how that really works. You learn the little politics of real life quickly that way, right?
You really do.
Oh, that's great. Oh, what a great experience. So amazing. Now, how do you go about reaching out to partners to help you create the camp and get the location and find people to volunteer, to do the donations? What are some ways that you reach out in that local market to do that? Particularly now that you've got 3 new markets that you're going to. 3, right? Or 4? You're going to Austin, Orlando, and
San Antonio.
And San Antonio.
And
Houston.
4.
Fortunately, we have created internally at Cornerstone ambassadors, and these are ladies who work in the home building space from a mortgage perspective. And so they have just rallied around this initiative, and they have been instrumental in communicating with their builder partner and getting the right person at the builder that can help with the volunteer of the certain types of trades or speaker or donations, sponsorships, all of that. So that's been kind of our first step. As we move forward, our goal is to expand this to builders that we don't work with from a Cornerstone perspective, because this is so much bigger than just Cornerstone. This is really an initiative that can help on many different levels. And so it really just starts with a conversation. And so if you're watching this and you feel inspired or motivated and you want to learn more and you do work for a home builder, and no matter what that position is, just reach out to us and we can kind of give you some guidance on next steps of that conversation. And as Lisa said, it truly does take a village. We cannot do this without our home builders, and really just that participation, and also understanding that there's just so many pieces of this. It's not just skilled trade workers, that we need skilled workers, but the purchasing manager or the, divisional president, there's so much to learn that goes into the home building space, that any females that we can put in front of these gals that work for a home builder is an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know you prefer to have women joining you guys in the field and on the camps, but is there an opportunity for men to make an impact in these camps as well? So I want to make sure we include everybody, because we want to be inclusive.
Absolutely.
How are some of the ways that the men have been able to participate, and what are they getting out of this event?
We rely really heavily on men to help us. And the reality of it is the majority of workers in this field are men. So we embrace that support, and men can volunteer at camp as well. We try to keep our speakers all female if we can, because I really want the the campers to see real women doing these jobs. I think it does break down some of those barriers. So it's really important. But as far as volunteering for camp, it is men and women. And like we said, we can use all the help we can get. So if there is a gentleman who's a skilled in a trade and he has some spare time and enjoys teaching young girls, then we can definitely use it. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And your website is womenbuildingamerica.org. Is that correct? So
Yes.
they can reach out to you that way, or you can always reach out to us, and I'll be sure to put you in touch with Lisa or Kelly. But I want to thank you too for your hard work and your dedication. I know it's a volunteer job and nobody really understands, and they don't always give you the kudos and the thankfulness for what you guys do. But it's amazing the time that you guys are taking from your regular everyday lives and your jobs to help make this happen for young girls across America, and giving them the opportunity and the vision to be more than just what everybody expects them to be, and really take a chance. Go on an adventure, learn something new, and see what fits. So I appreciate you guys and the efforts you're putting forth. And thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you'd like to say anything that you hope, if you have anything that you hope anybody got out of our time today, please take one more second to say thank you and what you hope they got out of the time that we had together.
Well, Emma, just thank you so much for feeling that inspiration and the passion when you first heard about Women Building America, and for your involvement and for bringing awareness to your community and sphere. So thank you so much for that. It means a lot. And again, just if any of this resonated with you, then just make the call and we'd love to talk with you. It's easy. It doesn't have to be a thing. It's just, that's where it all starts.
Yes. Thank you, Emma Jane. And like Kelly said, if anyone's interested, call us, please. We need you.
Thank you guys. And we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching or listening. Give us a like and leave a comment. And if you thought of somebody, be sure to send them a link so they can listen too. As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. Is there a specific topic or special guest that you want to hear about? Let us know. Did you like what you heard? Then I've got great news for you. You can listen to this episode along with many more at Builder of Choice Insights, where I talk with industry experts on crucial concepts that help builders become the builder of choice. If you don't want to miss this next episode, then be sure to turn on your notifications, hit that like button, and subscribe.